welcome to the Old Time Radio Westerns. I'm your host, Andrew Rhynes, and let's get into this episode. This episode is going to be The Lone Ranger. Original air date's November 3rd, 1943. The title is Barbary Coast. This is part 2 of a 3-part series. Let's get into it, and I hope you enjoy.
Silver! Hoy! A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo Silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion, Tonto, the masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. The stories of his strength and courage, his daring and resourcefulness have come down to us through the generations, and nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! Faster, boy, faster! I'll Silver! Hoy!
The tawdry glitter and maudlin songs, the fixed smiles of dancing girls and harsh laughter of coarse men couldn't hide the rampant crime that raged unchecked in the Barbary Coast. In this, the most dangerous spot in the world, no man's life was safe. Like tentacles of a giant octopus, the influence of this shameful part of San Francisco reached into all places. Crime from the Barbary Coast spread like verminous rats to ships that went to every port and reached into the highest places in the state. Even Arnold Gearson, California's most prominent, most influential banker. Gearson, the portly gentleman who owned the vast estate on Nob Hill, was threatened by disaster.
If they harm Sally, those fiends.
Dad, Grandma wants to know what's wrong.
Oh, son, I have something on my mind. I want to be alone here in my study. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Bob, I'm waiting for someone to call.
Very well, Father.
Tell your Grandma Gearson that I'll see her as soon as my conference is finished.
When your conference is finished, eh? You'll see me right now, Arnold Gearson. Bob, you scoot.
All right, Gram.
Your pa's got something to talk over with me. And shut that door on your way.
I never could hide anything from you.
You're doggone right you can't. Out with it now. What's up?
It's Sally.
Sally? What's she done?
I learned that the ship she sailed out of New York on is owned by one of the worst men in the high seas. Shark Larson.
My sakes alive.
I've been living in fear of what might happen ever since I heard about it. That's why I spread the word that I wanted help from the Lone Ranger.
Arnold, was it you that sent out that word?
Yes.
Great day.
The Claire de Lune.
The what?
Claire de Lune, Larson's ship. It dropped anchor in the bay, and Larson sent me a letter written by my daughter.
What did she say?
The letter said that Sally was in a certain South American port. Didn't name the port. She needs money. She has to pay heavy debts before she can leave.
That's a downright lie. That ain't Sally's style.
Yes, I know it. It's a thinly veiled demand for ransom. I'm supposed to give the money to Shark Larson, who will take it to Sally.
Truth is, he's holding the poor girl prisoner somewhere and won't let her go if he ain't paid.
I know.
Well, you paying him?
Oh, I'd gladly pay if I thought Sally'd be released.
You don't think she will?
I don't know, Mother.
Who's got her letter now?
The man who called at my office this afternoon.
Stranger? Arnold, stop hedging and talk. Who got that letter, and who you waiting here to meet?
The stranger said he would give the letter to the Lone Ranger.
And the Lone Ranger's coming here?
Yes. Oh, at last, here he is. You see him outside the window?
Well, let him in. Open the window.
Come in. Thank goodness you're here.
Thanks, Gerson. Wearing a mask, it's part of my outfit.
I understand.
Shut that window.
This is my mother.
I thought as much.
Just who the Sam Hill are you?
Who do you think?
Mother, this is the Lone Ranger. I told you.
Lone Ranger, my eye.
What?
He smells to the sky of cheap booze and bad tobacco. If that's the Lone Ranger, I'm Lily Langtry.
You're pretty smart, ain't you? Well, don't move.
Put that gun away. What's the matter with you?
Gerson, I got a job to do here, and I'm going to do it. Don't interfere, and you won't get hurt.
Wish I had a gun handy.
Don't make a move.
What do you want?
The gent you mistook me for. He'll be here tonight, and he won't leave under his own power. Boys don't aim to let him interfere with their work.
You think a guzzle-faced tadpole like you can match him?
I got my orders. Money won't change it. Carry my orders out, Gerson. Either get the Lone Rangers or the boys get me.
Darn small loss.
That Lone Ranger made a big mistake last night. He was the one that busted up a few of the boys in Dirk Gimlet's Thunderbolt Cafe.
Good for him.
Yeah? That ain't so good for him.
Are you sure he was the one?
Nobody else could have handled Gimlet's boys like he did. He was dressed like a prospector, but he was the one all right. If he comes here, he'll pay for it. And so will the sailor he took out of the place.
Dad, there's a man here to see, and he's wearing a mask.
Good heavens. The masked man. The Lone Ranger.
Gerson, one word, and I'll shoot your mother.
Dad, you hear me? It's the Lone Ranger. I'm bringing him in.
I'll get him.
Look out!
Oh, drop!
You can't,
Anybody else hurt?
Golly. By the beard of Uncle Sam. Arnold, Bobby, did you see it?
I can't believe it.
Leaping sagebrush. He saw the situation, slapped Bob to one side, come up with his gun a-firing from the hip, and put a bullet through that buzzard's shoulder.
Bob, are you all right?
Sure, I'm all right.
Who is this man?
He came here to kill you. He said you caused trouble at the Thunderbolt last night.
Who sent you here?
Hey, Todd.
Give me that mask. Bob, get some water and bandage. We'll fix the wound.
Yes, sir.
I remember seeing you with Gimlet last night.
Yeah, what of it? You got me. What are you going to do about it?
Let me handle him. I'll bend this fireplace poker on his head, the skunk.
He'll be quiet for the time being. Gerson, I assume this is your mother. I trust you'll understand if I don't remove my mask.
Sure thing, I understand.
My mother came overland a long time ago.
Mrs. Gerson, this great country was built by women of your courage and energy.
Thanks for that. It's varmints like that that are trying to tear it down.
The fact that this man was here has changed things. I want him kept here for a few hours.
Well, if he stays around here, we'll have to burn the house down. He'll spoil it.
We'll keep him here. We'll do anything else you say.
Hold him until midnight, Gerson. If by that time I haven't returned, turn him over to the law. An Indian will call on you.
An Indian? You mean he'll come if you don't?
Yes, he'll try to carry on.
You mean if you're not back, it'll be because you've been killed?
Bob, I have a friend about your age.
Yes, sir. Father told me about
I'd
it.
like my son to meet him.
My friend's name is Dan. He'll come here sometime this evening.
He will?
He will have money to his account in your bank, Mr. Gerson. You wanted to pay me.
Whatever you ask. Anything.
I would be greatly in debt to you if you'd see that Dan is sent to school with your son.
He shall be.
How soon will he be here?
Oh, about an hour. I'll go out this window. I left Silver at the rear of the house.
But if this means your life, well, you're more important
Bye,
than...
Mr. Gerson.
Golly. He was a Lone Ranger, mask and all.
Oh, that nut's none too tight. If that Lone Ranger don't come back, you'll get the rest of this bandage around your neck.
Late the same evening, while the masked man and Dan Reed talked, Tonto was on the opposite side of the campfire with a young fellow named Jimmy. It was the man who'd been rescued by the Lone Ranger on the previous night. Rescued from the hands of the Barbary Coast outlaws who tried to Shanghai him on an outbound ship. Jimmy knew the Barbary Coast. This knowledge was of value to the Lone Ranger.
Tonto, when the Lone Ranger rode into camp, he was mighty quiet and thoughtful. I could see it in spite of his mask.
That's right, Jimmy.
He shouldn't go into that Barbary Coast again. He's going up against Shark Larson. Up against Raven. Into the Raven's roost. He ain't got a chance of coming back alive. Maybe I should try and warn him some more.
You already tell Lone Ranger what danger is, Jimmy. You leave him alone now. Him on the other side of fire at Dan. Him want to talk at Dan.
He's sending Dan away, isn't he?
That's right.
I can't ever tell you how much it's meant to me to have traveled with you these past months.
Dan, this isn't a parting that's permanent. We'll ride together again.
It'll never be the same. I guess I'll learn a lot in that school.
Yes, you will. You make friends of boys your own age. You'll learn to do things that I haven't been able to do.
I want to be like you.
But, Dan, the days of the Wild West are limited. Soon the gun will be just an ornament. Leaders of men will be the ones who have gone to school. The men who have studied law and government and history. Things of that sort. You must prepare to take a place among the leaders of America.
Yes, sir.
You must learn the mistakes that have been made by other nations in the days of the past, so you can help this country avoid them. You must study literature. Then, as for advice.
Yes?
Years ago, a writer in England named Shakespeare wrote advice for a father to give a son. I can't improve on it. No one has ever been able to improve on it. Now listen. In these few precepts, in thy memory, see thou character, give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Those friends thou hast, in their adoption tried, grapple them to thy soul with hoops of steel. But do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear it, that the opposed may beware of thee. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Take each man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. Costly thy habit, as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy, rich, not gaudy. For the apparel oft proclaims a man. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man.
Goodbye.
Dan, we'll ride together again. Remember that.
I won't ever forget. That or anything else.
Here, Dan. Victor all ready to ride.
Thanks, Tonto.
Long goodbye.
Tonto was right. Adios, Dan.
Goodbye. Come on, Victor.
Tonto, where's Jimmy?
Him, other side of campfire.
We won't smash the Barbary Coast by sitting around a campfire. Come here, Jim.
Where are we going first?
To the Thunderbolt. We're going to see Dirk Gimlet. From there, we're going to the Raven's Roost.
What about your disguise?
I'm not wearing a disguise. I'm going in these clothes, wearing this mask.
You'll be shot on sight.
If that should happen, Tonto will tell Arnold Gearson what to do.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments.
Now to continue our story. The Thunderbolt Cafe. One of the Barbary Coast's chief places and a dangerous one to visit. The Thunderbolt was owned by Dirk Gimlet. Gimlet sat at his desk in the office. With him was the boss of the Raven's Roost, Greg Raven.
How'd you like to wake up and find yourself on board the Claire de Lune, sailing for Singapore under Shark Larson?
No.
Could happen, Gimlet. Could happen as easy as that. And the Shark would pay me $200 for giving him an able-bodied seaman. Now, you just tell me why I owe you money.
I didn't mean to be so blunt about
Talk.
it. Raven, you've heard of the Lone Ranger.
Heard plenty about him. They say he's in the vicinity.
It couldn't be anyone else.
Yeah, I heard he was here last night, fixed to look like a prospector.
He was.
Sort of smashed up a few of your boys in a fist-slinging match.
He'll regret that if he ain't already done so.
Why'd you mention the Lone Ranger?
Now, look, Raven. I sent my best gunslinger, a critter named Sage. He went where the Lone Ranger was figuring to go, and he was to wait for him and shoot him on sight.
Yeah?
I promised Sage $1,000. Figured that you and me could split the cost.
Why should I pay part of it? Is that how you figured I owed you money? You waterlogged fool,
But if the Lone Ranger was to go to your place...
I wish he'd come to my place. I'd like to see him come to the Raven's Roost. I'd make money on him. I don't have a lot of weak-kneed lubbers working for me.
Do you think I do?
All I know is what happened here last night.
If that critter comes to your place, you'll find out how tough your men are.
Listen, Gimlet. Shark Larson is the toughest skipper on saltwater. He don't want jellyfish for a crew. He wants the strongest, toughest men he can get. So he hires me to get them for him. I don't care how big a man is. If he sets foot in the Raven's Roost, he'll wake up on Larson's ship. And Larson will pay me for putting him there. It's too bad you hired a man to kill the Lone Ranger. I'd like to have delivered him to Larson.
Well, hold on, Raven.
Yeah?
Larson's Claire de Lune is anchored in the bay right now, ain't it?
Yeah.
He wants a crew?
Sure he does. No man in his right mind ever sails with Larson twice. Anyhow, after one voyage, a man ain't strong enough to sail again.
How about Sage?
The killer?
He'll come here to report that he's got the Lone Ranger. He'll want his $1,000. Now, why don't I tell him to go and collect from you? You know what to do with him.
Now you're being smart, Gimlet. That's the ticket. I know what to do with him, all right. You bet I do. Maybe I can get a special price from Shark for him.
Special price?
Well, sure thing. We'll leave the mask on him and tell Larson he's got the Lone Ranger as a member of his crew.
Raven, you are a smart one.
That's why Shark deals with me instead of lubbers like you. Hey, there seems to be some excitement outside in the bar room.
I'll tell you the truth, boys. It's all over town.
Wait here, Raven. I'll see what's going on.
I can't believe it. It must be true. I just heard the same thing.
Ah, quiet down, all of you. Quiet, I said. What's all the excitement?
They got the Lone Ranger. The Lone Ranger's dead. Somebody shot him.
Ah, wait a minute. One at a time. What'd you say, Jim?
I said that someone went to Arnold Gearson's house to kill the Lone Ranger. You sent him there, Gimlet.
Ain't you talking kind of careless, Jimmy?
No. He saved me from your dirty scheme to Shanghai me. That's why you had him killed. And I'm here to get you.
Hold it. You pull a gun on me and you won't live 2 seconds.
What do I care what happens to me? I'll get you.
Not tonight.
Oh!
Go on now, Jim. Get into Gimlet's office.
My hand.
Here, wrap this around it.
Step right in. Raven is here. You'll be glad to see the critter that got the Lone Ranger.
In with you, Jim.
Oh, you ornery...
Shut up. So, this is the Raven I've heard about, huh?
You got the Lone Ranger?
You see me wearing his clothes and mask, don't you?
I'll get you for it or die trying.
Pay me off, Gimlet. Going out to celebrate. Going to make the rounds of the Barbary coast.
How about that critter? He was going to kill me.
And me, Gimlet. He's mine. What about my cash?
You collected Raven's Roost.
Suits me. Get going, Jim.
Raven. The boots he wore.
Mighty fancy ones. Swiped them from the corpse.
They sure make him look taller, don't they?
I didn't see him before.
That's so. You don't think he...
Huh?
I wonder if he could be the real Lone Ranger.
Ah, you saw that young upstart try to get you, and the way your man Sage shot his gun hand, you heard what Jim said.
That's so.
Well, I'm leaving. Gotta slip into this shack and back door of my place and meet Shark. I'll see that those two drop through a trapdoor to start a long voyage.
Shark Larson, terror of the high seas, known from Spain to Singapore and from Cape Horn to Alaska as the most brutal captain ever to bark an order, sat in the rear room of Greg Raven's place.
Got a real surprise for you, Shark.
All right, unfurl.
Sending 2 men out to your boat tonight.
I ain't ready to shove off. Got some business to finish in Frisco.
I know that. How's it coming?
I sent another letter to Garrison tomorrow. Then he pays or he regrets.
There was an obstacle in your way. You know of it?
Lone Ranger?
Same.
Heard he was around. Also heard he was killed tonight.
Look through the peephole. See you standing at the bar.
I don't need to. I heard there was a leper with a mask there.
You hear things fast, don't you?
What about him?
The Lone Ranger.
Raven.
What's the matter?
This.
Hey, Shark, what'd you knock me out of the chair for?
Raven, I'm no pipsqueak. I ain't what I am because I'm a fool. Look it up.
But...
That slap was for lying to me.
Lying?
Figured to tell me you put the Lone Ranger on the Claire de Lune, eh? Figured I had my ears full of salt spray, my brain pickled in bilge water.
No.
Thought you collect them extra prize for the Lone Ranger, didn't you?
Who gave you that idea?
You see through schemes fast. The cow's name is Sage. He's the one that shot the Lone Ranger, and he's strutting around the Lone Ranger's clothes and mask, and everyone is buying him drinks.
If I thought Gimlet had squealed...
Raven, you know better than to trust anyone. Here, $200. Put those two on board tonight.
To get more for the man that killed the Lone Ranger.
You'll take what I pay. You don't put Sage on board. They want his pay for what he did. You know that?
All right, Shark.
And fix him with a special dose of that dope so as he'll be unconscious plenty long.
Whatever you say.
I'll have the mate give him another drink when he starts coming conscious. I want him sleeping till I set sail after my business here is done.
You ain't staying long?
Only long enough to deal with Gerson. My cargo is for another port. I'll go tell the barkeep to fix a special drink for those two.
Jim, the next few minutes we'll tell the story.
I think our act was all right, as far as Gimlet and Raven went.
I was afraid Gimlet would notice a difference in the voice.
He might have, but faking that shot at me threw him off. I think I got my hand covered before he saw I wasn't really hurt.
I had planned to come here, but after Sage made the attempt on my life, it was necessary to stage an act.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, don't let anyone see you throw the drinks away.
No. But look, when they Shanghai you, maybe they'll take the mask off.
I have some disguise on my face, and anyway, it's dark.
It's an awful chance you're taking.
You're taking the same chances, Jim.
But me, I don't matter.
I had to have someone with me. It was necessary for Tonto to stay back. If our plans fail...
If they do, we'll be on a long cruise with Shark Larson. And men don't live long after working for him.
If our plans fail, Tonto will have to pass my instructions on to Mr. Gerson.
You think Sally Gearson's on board the Claire de Lune?
Shark wouldn't leave her anyplace else.
Oh, I reckon not.
Hey, look. Raven is speaking to the bartender.
Yeah. This is going to be the one.
Make believe you drink, then take your cue from me.
They'll take your guns.
I have others that I don't think they'll find.
Won't be long now.
This drink's on the house, gents.
And make it a good one.
It'll be a good one. Like it, but you've never had before. There she is, gents.
Here's to you, Jimmy.
Thanks.
Thanks, Raven.
What? The boss here? I don't see him.
Yeah, guess I'm seeing things.
It'll take you more than a turn of the head to down that drink.
Oh, why waste time? Say, was that stuff?
That's right.
Hey, barkeep. What are you ornery? Raven's done it.
Jim, if we hang on.
We pass out. It's Shark Larson.
Heave her around now. I'll grab the line from the Claire de Lune.
What's you got?
A couple of men that'll need a few hours' sleep before they're ready to take a watch.
Let us down. I'll give you a hand with them. Throw that line over.
Coming. We got her. I'll tie it around this one first.
Make it fast in a hurry. We got our hands full.
Where's that?
That girl. Learned that we're in port. Shark left orders we wasn't a drugger. Take 3 men to keep watch on it.
All the way.
All the way.
All the way it is. Up to the line. Tie the other one on.
I'll have 'em tied in no time. The shark has a special customer this time. A masked one. All the way.
Raven, we do get along pretty good. I'm sorry I knocked you down.
First time you ever been sorry for anything, Shark.
Well, maybe I ain't sorry, but anyhow, I don't hold no hard feelings.
All right.
Maybe I'll be ready to sail tomorrow night.
You need more men?
Plenty of them, all you can get there.
Raven! Raven, let me in!
That's Gimlet.
What's his trouble?
Come in. What's the matter? You seen a ghost?
Raven, listen to me. Where's the masked man?
Aboard the Claire de Lune by this time. Why?
We don't waste no time. What's got your lines all tangled?
Sage just came into my place.
Sage is on my boat. He's still wearing his mask.
No. Don't you understand? The Lone Ranger beat Sage to the draw. It was the Lone Ranger that came here.
What? Are you sure?
I know it for a fact.
But the Lone Ranger don't drink.
Sure he doesn't drink. That means you didn't get your knockout drugs. It means he's wide awake and playing possum.
Just to get on board the boat to get Sally Casson, huh? All right. Raven, get all the men you can trust. Gimlet, get men in boats. This time we'll show them that Shark Larson ain't to be fooled with.
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated.
This has been a presentation of OTRWesterns.com, and we hope you enjoyed. Please take some time to like and rate our shows in your favorite podcast application. Follow us on Facebook by going to OTRWesterns.com/Facebook. Join in the conversation by going to OTRWesterns.com/Discord. And don't forget to send us an email, podcast@OTRWesterns.com. This episode is copyright under the attribution, non-commercial, share alike copyright. For more information, go to OTRWesterns.com/copyright. Have a great day, and again, thanks for listening.